Hello, everyone. This is PamelaTopjian, and today we're going to talk about how to find real contentment and even inner peace after a life of trauma. So, there was a time in my life, and many of you know, when I thought the inner peace and having peace within my life was completely impossible, more like a fairy tale than something that could really happen, at least in my life. I wondered if it was possible to even be just content, like just truly good within your mind and body and soul, just easygoing. I didn't know that life could just be easygoing. And if you're someone who ever wondered this or felt this way, then this is for you. So please stick around. Because not only is contentment possible, but inner peace is possible. I am living proof. You might be in a place that you just can't really believe this right now. I understand because I've been there. Of course, life isn't ever going to be always peaceful or stress-free because life happens, right? Life keeps lifing, as I've heard people say. But it's possible to be able to handle the stresses in a more peaceful and easygoing way, or at least a more healthy way that doesn't feel like the world is just against you or crashing down around you, or that everything is falling apart or nothing's ever worked out for you. A lot of you know I've lived through a lot of chaos and trauma, burnout, and even had a complete mental and emotional breaking point at one time in my life. I have a video on this channel, From Breakdown to Breakthrough, that explains that. I've written books about it, my life story and all of the trauma and the healing, and I'll put those links in the description below. So if you're interested in diving deeper into my story, that information will be below. And to even my own surprise, I still found a way to a place within myself that feels calm, that feels safe, and feels peaceful. And I never thought this was possible. And if I can get there, so can you. And that's what I want you to take away from this. This is the reason for this video. Everyone's story is going to be different, and what helped me might not be right for you. So it's not a tutorial or a lesson on how to, but this is what helped me. So for me, contentment means just being in a place of ease, just comfort and ease, a place where life just flows. And a big part of getting to that place and healing is understanding where, what, or who the chaos was from. Just basically how you ended up in that life, how you ended up in that place in your life. I would say that clarity is an important first step. For me, that meant therapy, meditation, and writing. One of the biggest things, though, is time. I didn't avoid the rough spots, the hard moments, the hard days, weeks, or months. I went through it. And it took time and hard work. I've mentioned therapy, different types of therapy, different modalities of healing. I've mentioned meditation and I've mentioned journaling many times in many places and even on this channel in other videos here. And I've also mentioned self-awareness a lot, being able to know yourself well enough to recognize what is good for you and what disrupts that peace or what causes dis-ease for you. That's a big step. That's a big another first step, another big thing that you need to do, or that really helps, that really helped me. And then learning how to avoid those things, learning how to avoid those patterns, letting go of parts of your life that aren't conducive with contentment, things that cause too much stress on a regular basis. This is really hard sometimes, but it's really so worth it. Personally, I've had to let go of friendships, careers, even something that I thought was really right for me, but ended up being more trouble than it was worth. And these things weren't easy to give up or to let go of or back away from. It took a lot of contemplation, a lot of thought. And this is meditation and writing it out. as well as talking it out. So hopefully you have somebody in your life, a trusted loved one, a trusted friend, a spouse, a partner. You can talk it out with, you know, your pet. You can talk it out with your dog if you don't have any of these people in your life. I'm always here to listen too. I mean, if you need to talk things out and vent, my information, my contact information is always in the description of these videos. I'm happy to be a sounding board for you. But I think that that really helps, just venting it out. So I had to slow down. I had to face things that I had buried, even subconscious things, and I had to rebuild. Completely different than anything I knew before. So it wasn't just plowing through and going on with it. Big changes were needed for me. In therapy and just with myself, I had to be candid, open and honest with myself, and to learn how to have compassion for myself instead of that criticism that always comes up. It wasn't easy and it was really hard. The hardest time in my life, in fact. Some of you are there now. And if you know anyone who is in this space within their life, please share this out with them. Just knowing that someone else has been there and is now on the other side can give a bit of hope where hope was lost. Journaling was hugely healing for me personally. Journaling helps to bring that self-awareness. It's having that conversation with yourself. That awareness is where change can begin to show up for you, even if just in small ways at first. Awareness and clarity can help you to see that tiny spark begin to glimmer at the end of that tunnel where it had gone completely dark before. And that might sound a little dramatic, but that's really how it was. And I love a good analogy, but that's really what it was like for me. Finally seeing a little bit of light at the end of that tunnel. That tunnel had been completely blackened out before. But writing helped me to get it out of me. But also, as you're writing, it helps make those connections for your mind and can even help with your memory. Some believe, or there's been studies, I think, where writing is giving your subconscious a voice. Things will come out that surprise you. There's some sort of connection in the brain from you physically writing something out to your brain that makes that subconscious connection. If you don't overthink it as you're writing, and you're not writing for anyone else to ever see, just getting it all down on paper can really help in many ways. I can't stress this enough. And I know that some people really hate writing. Try typing it out or even talk to text. It really works. And however way that is right and feels good for you for writing something out, then that will work for you. And Google Docs, with Google Docs, documents on Google will have a place where you can talk and it will write it out. Part of self-awareness is noticing your triggers. And rather than just reacting, then getting far away from them, let them be your teachers. What does this bring up for me? Where did this come from? Being aware of the emotion can be a challenge in itself. I know that it was for me and sometimes still is. But how does it make me feel? And did it remind me of a situation or a person? Really being able to sit with yourself and not filling up your free time, not taking on more than you can handle, or even creating distractions. It's important to reflect on those triggers so that you gain some more self-awareness and clarity. It can teach you that you are your own person. I want to say that again because when we're in this space of breakdown, we can lose ourselves. Or, like me, never fully felt like yourself. So, writing it all out, letting your triggers teach you, can help you to know yourself, to know that you are your own person with your own senses, your own values and feelings, And brushing things under the rug has only made that pile bigger so that you're tripping over it now. It's time to address that lump. Like the elephant in the room, there's that lump under the carpet of everything you've been brushing under it. It can show up as digestive issues, like a lump in your stomach, a lump in your throat, chronic headaches, fatigue, nightmares or insomnia, anxiety or depression, and overall dis-ease. You don't have to process through everything immediately. In fact, it's better to go at a slower pace. But just that awareness, taking a look at it, is a huge step forward. And if and when this becomes too much, you can take a break from it. You will be overwhelmed and you will need a break from that. But try not to avoid it or forget about it. Once you get to that breaking point, or hopefully before then, it's time to get serious, to save your own life, to not continue in that state that you had been for too long. So take that break where needed, but don't just leave it on the shelf. Don't just sweep it under that rug anymore. Take the break, but come back to it. Another huge step for me was letting go of things that didn't feel right. Saying no to those things that didn't feel like an F yeah. And I did a video on that too, and I'll post that in the description as well. You know, it's not easy when you're used to going along with a lot of things, mainly because you either didn't know yourself or because you might have been a people pleaser. You didn't want to make any waves, rock the boat, or anything. And you didn't like confrontation either, maybe. I've mentioned some of this above as well, but so for me to be content and peaceful in my life is still unbelievably amazing. It wasn't a quick journey here and it wasn't easy, but it is possible. It's also a maintenance thing. As I've mentioned, life keeps lifing, right? So you have to be diligent. And once again, I'll say self-aware. So I protect it with everything I have. I protect my inner peace. I want everyone to feel this too, to know contentment and inner peace. And that's why I thought this was important to do, so that to give you hope if you are in this space, for you to know that this is possible. So if you have any questions or you would like me to go deeper into this, please let me know. Or if you have a topic to discuss here, I love getting your suggestions. So please remember to check that description under this video. And as always, I want to thank you so much for being here and wish you all so much peace, love, and healing.